Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the introductory session of the very first class of the Amazon Web Service, Cloud Computing. Today, we are going to be introducing what AWS is all about and the importance of cloud. I am going to go a little bit fast with the introduction because we want to dive directly to start doing our practicals. So, just follow me keenly, please, and you take your time to follow the recordings. All right, we are here to talk about cloud computing. So, what is cloud computing all about? We have the term cloud refers to a network of internet. In other words, we can say that cloud is something which is present at remote location. Cloud can provide services over public and private networks. So that is English there. So in real essence, what is the cloud? What is a cloud? When they talk about cloud, we keep on talking about cloud computing. I want to study cloud computing. What is the cloud? Generally, we know that for some time now, companies have been going mad with providing computing outsourcing to commercializing their services to other companies. We have a situation of Amazon, we have a situation of Google, we have Microsoft. These are the forerunners in cloud computing. So, what have they done? These guys have simply gone somewhere and built a huge data center. They have built a huge data center where in that data center you can create a storage, a space for your storage to stock all your data, like your videos, like your photos, like everything. You stock it there. So since you are in Cameroon and you it is possible for you to stock it in their data center, say in Europe, we call that remote data location the cloud. So when you hear about the cloud, we are simply referring to a data location that is located in a remote area. So that is what we mean the cloud. So coming down to Amazon, Amazon is having as many data location centers all over the world. So much so that it made it a cloud network of regions interconnected together. So let's look at this photo here. You see computers and storage devices located in a remote area that can be accessible by people from different angles of the world. They can access it through the desktop, through their iPads, or through their mobile devices. Everybody can have access to the cloud. So Amazon is the one providing these services here like this for everyone to have access to. So that is in essence, in real terms, what the cloud is. So if somebody asks you, what is a cloud? You are studying cloud computing. What is the cloud? In essence, the cloud is just a data center located in a remote area. Okay, now let us look at the features of the cloud. The cloud is having so many features that makes it the reason why it is being sought after, because it is more advantageous than having your applications launched or installed in your private or local environment. Why is that? Why is the cloud important than that? We have resource pooling, we have on-demand self-service, we have easy maintenance, we have large network access, we have availability, automatic system, economical, security, pay as you go, and measured services. All these are the advantages that if somebody asks you, what is the advantage of the cloud over private or local services? You say the cloud, first of all, is resource pooling. When they say the cloud is resource pooling, what do we mean by the cloud is resource pooling? The cloud is resource pooling because nearly all the various resources of data connection that you can ever have in a data system are available in the cloud. But if you want to install your location in an environment, in a local environment, you might not be able to have the finances to have all those locations. So the cloud is already having all those locations ready. On-demand self-service, which means that these locations you can, these resources, you can access them at any moment, whenever you want. Okay, that's the meaning of on-demand self-service. Easy maintenance. In fact, I say there is no maintenance at all because you do not maintain anything. But when you install your management systems in your private location somewhere in your private servers at home, you need to be maintaining them, to be updating them, to interconnect them. But when you are with the cloud, you have very easy maintenance. The maintenance is very easy. Large network access. When you are with the cloud, you are open to very, very high speed network. Very high speed network, which means that, referring to having your devices in the local environment at the level of the cloud, there is a possibility for you to buy a very high demand for network, so much so that you can access some services the first. These services is mostly used by stock exchange companies who want to place their bids very much in front of every other person. So they need to have very, very high network access. Availability. The cloud will never fail you. For example, they said AWS is having almost close to 128 data regions all over the world, which means that if you are with AWS, there is no one time you can ever say that your server is down. When your server is down, the replica of the server takes over somewhere. Okay, so your servers can never be down. But at the level of your local servers installed somewhere in a local environment, you run the dangers of fire, you run the dangers of flooding, you run even the dangers of electricity, cooling system, and all the like. You always run all those dangers. So, but with the cloud, you are very much safe. And everything in the cloud is an automatic system. When you just configure it, it appears automatic. There is no physical interconnection of systems. No, that physical interconnection of systems occur when you are building servers in your local private environment. But at the level of the cloud, there everything occurs automatic. The cloud is very economical. Why do we bring about the aspect of economical here? Take for example, you are starting a supermarket. You are not sure of whether this supermarket is going to grow or not. You are not sure of whether so many people are going to be coming to this supermarket or not. You are not certain. So what do? You are starting. Please, Leslie, can you mute your mic, please? Thank you very much. So please, as I was saying, just imagine you are beginning uh, a a shop which you are uncertain whether this shop is going to grow or not. In that situation, what do? You are going to have to create a management system. You buy a hard drive, you buy a server, you buy all those things. You don't yet know whether it will work or not. What if the business fails? What will you do with all those things that you have bought? You will be struggling to sell them, and you sell them with a giveaway price. But with the cloud, if you try and it doesn't work, you simply uninstall everything from the cloud and you go away. So the cloud is very economical with respect to that one. You don't need to go and be buying physical computers. You don't need to go and be connecting cables and having messy environments. No, the cloud is very economical. Now we have security. You will see all the levels of security as far as the cloud is concerned. The cloud is highly secured. We move from our key pair to our security group to our VPCs. You will come to know the differences between all the security levels which I am mentioning. These are our stages that we are going to follow. Then the cloud is pay as you go. You only pay for services that you use. You do not pay for services that are redundant, that you are not in need of. No, you pay only for services that you are using. Then everything in the cloud is quantifiable and measured. That is why we say all their services are measured services. So these are the various advantages that the cloud will have over local local data services that are installed in the local environment. So because they mostly ask this question in your interviews, that what is the advantage of cloud computing over local servers installed in local environment. So these are the various advantages. You can name, give all these 10 different advantages and expatiate on. So if you don't know how to expatiate on any of this, in fact, in our secondary school, we'll say that we write short notes on all these. So when you sit down under your private time, please take some time and see whether you can write short notes on the advantages of the cloud with respect to resource pooling, on demand, easy maintenance, large network availability, automatic system, economical, security, pay as you go, and measured services. If you can write good short notes on all these, then you must have mastered the importance of the cloud and the advantages of the cloud. In fact, these are all features of the cloud. All right, let's come to some terminologies that you always hear sometimes people talk about. You always hear people say infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, software as a service. These are the service models available at the level of the cloud. So, what type of service are the cloud computing companies offering to us? What are we buying from them? So we are buying three things from the cloud computing companies. The three things are IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS. IaaS stands for Infrastructure as a Service. When they talk about infrastructure as a service, what are we buying in terms of infrastructure? What exactly are we buying? Please give me 1 minute. Let me just a minute, please. All right, thank you. So, as I was saying, what are we buying from the cloud? What is the cloud really important for us? We talk about infrastructures as a service. So, what is the infrastructure that we are struggling to buy here? Which infrastructure are we trying to buy? The infrastructure that we are struggling to buy is we are struggling to buy computers. The cloud is having computers that we just need to buy and configure. Instead of buying physical computers, we buy virtual computers from the cloud. We are buying cables from them. We are buying load balancers from them. You come to know all about load balancers. We are buying data systems. We are going to buy a lot of things, physical things that are built somewhere. Those are the infrastructure that we need in order to build our applications, because you cannot have your application running without a computer. Okay, you need a computer in order to run your application. So we have infrastructure as a service. Then we talk about platform as a service. What type of platform does the cloud offer for us? The cloud offer a system in which sometimes you don't even need computers in order to run your software or your management system. There is what we call uh, uh, serverless computers. That is, you have a system where it is not a computer that is running your system. It is a resource that we call in the cloud Lambda. When we come to Lambda, you will understand the meaning of Lambda. Okay. And platform as a service is at the level of, let's take for example, Facebook. Facebook is a platform that is offered to us over the cloud. Everybody goes there to interconnect, to do business and all the like. So Facebook is a platform as a service. Then we have software as a service. There are some softwares that are already installed at the level of the cloud. You just need to come and buy a subscription, you create your account, you enter there, you start using. Though that is the meaning of software as a service. Most companies use platforms that are already well installed in the cloud, right? So there are three different ways of deploying in the cloud. When they talk about deploying, what do they mean? Deploying is just like saying installing. When they talk about installing a software, how would you want to install that software? That is the meaning of deployment, right? You can make sure that the software is solely cloud native. That means the software is all in the cloud. That's what we call the public cloud. You can make sure that the software is hybrid. That means it is both at the level of the public and at the local level. That means you install the software in two environments. You can also install the software in the cloud, but it is not available at the public. It is installed in the cloud, but only for particular people to have access to. That is what we call private cloud, right? We are going to come to all that and you will see it very clearly. So we can't start studying AWS without knowing what Amazon is all about. I mean, we should know that at one moment the CEO of Amazon was the richest person in the world, Jeff Bezos. So he is presently the CEO. Amazon Web Service is a cloud computing service created by Amazon. It is a collection of remote computing services that together make up a cloud computing platform. So you see that word platform. So they offer platform as a service, right? Makes up a cloud computing platform offered over the internet. So it was created and it started in 2006, invented huge in data centers across the globe. So we said this is the link where if you want to see all the various data centers of AWS, or the notes are already available to you. You click the link, the region link, you see all the regions of AWS. I mean, we can even try and see if we can have a taste of it and see all the various locations where AWS is located. Regional location of AWS data centers. This is the world map. Let's take images. So this is what we are talking about. We are going to have something like this. Sorry. Regional location of AWS regions. Okay, let's take that. So this will certainly be open image. Okay, this is what I wanted. This one is too small, but actually it's what we need. So you look at the regions here. They are all together. There are 28 active regions. There are 7 of them that are being planned to come. So we have one region in Africa. It is located in South Africa. Most of the regions are located in Europe and America, North America for that matter. There's one in South America, somewhere in Sao Paulo. So if you look at it keenly, you discover something. All AWS regions are almost located at the edge of the ocean. So you discover that they have already built a lot in their cooling system that takes water from the ocean and cool their machines and all the like. So it is a huge investment that I think nobody will venture to do it alone. So how are you going to be accessing these systems? You are going to create an account. As we said yesterday, you need to create an account. And for you to create an account, there are different plans. There are some plans that are just for 12 months free. You create the account, they'll give you those plans just for 12 months free. And then there are some plans that are always free. They will always be free for you. Then there are some that are never free, but they will give it for you free when you create your account for the first time, so that you just have a feel of it, and you, if you like it, so that you keep on using it. So we call them trails. All right. So this is the map of the various companies that are indulged into cloud computing. We have AWS at the top. You can see Amazon Web Service at the top, followed by Microsoft, third by Google. In fact, every job opening that you see online, you will see that they need a knowledge in AWS or Azure, Microsoft Azure. Very few job openings are in need of Google. So if you can learn AWS, with AWS, you already have everything that is occurring with Azure, with Microsoft here. Okay. So your task is master AWS very well. Okay. So these are all the various services of AWS. We are going to do all these services one after the other. We are going to engage in all these services. So yesterday I was talking about your pathway. This should be your pathway, please. We start from foundational. Foundational is what? This is the practitioner level of AWS. For me, as I said, when we go over this first slide, we have already gone all through the foundational level. Foundational level to me does not more is not more important. So your main level should be the associate. Grab the associate, and after you must have grabbed the associate, please don't care to go for professional. No, take DevOps. Take associate and then take DevOps. There are a lot of uh, business openings and job openings with DevOps mixed with AWS. So this is your pathway. You take associate and then you take DevOps. All right. After you finish DevOps, there will be just specializations. You can take a specialty in big data. You can take specialty in machine learning. You can decide and take a specialty in any of these. So it is your choice. That one depends on you. So at the level of us here, you will get your live training, then we will give you all your notes. I've already uploaded the notes, and I think I've given the link to you guys. I will be uploading the notes as we are going. Then we are going to give you AWS DOM. DOMs are questions and answers, past questions and answers for the exams. We are going to give you past questions and answers for the exam so that you prepare with them. Then there is a document of close to 800 pages that we are going to give to you for your own reference, right? Then resumes are going to be made available for you. Then interview questions we are going to take at the end of our program. We are going to take 1 month preparing you for interviews. I'm going to drill you in all the various interview questions that can ever be asked to you. So much so that when you face a job interview, you just crack it at the first time. You don't need to be going over and over it. At least I've done all the work for you. Then we also got AWS quiz. I'm going to, as we are moving, we are going to be having a lot of quiz at the end of our training. So when you go through all these, you are already certified as a foundational level. You are already certified as an AWS practitioner. So let's get to the crux of the matter. How to create your account in AWS. In order to create your account, there is a website. You are just going to go to the website portal and type aws.azure amazon.com. That is what you are going to type. aws.amazon.com. When you type that in your browser, you click enter. What will come up will be this page like this. The page is for you to now either sign in or you create your AWS account. In this situation, we want to create our AWS account. So you click on create an AWS account, right? When you click on create an AWS account, the page to create the account comes in. Root user email address. So you put your email address here and then you give the account name, AWS account name. For my own AWS account name, I'm using the company AWS account name and the account name is IIG. So I have an account called IIG. Let me sign into my account. Okay, I am inside my account. So when you click on create account, this is what will come up. You have to give your email address here, provide your password, confirm your password, and then you give your AWS account name. So in your email, you can give anything, abc@gmail.com. I will advise everybody to use a Gmail account, please, because Gmail is having a lot of interconnection with Amazon. So I'll advise everybody to use the Gmail account. So you can have abc@gmail.com. You put your password, you confirm your password, and then you choose your AWS name. Somebody asked that, can we have any name as our AWS name? Of course, yes. My personal AWS account has the name Clement Ranks. That is not my legal name. So you can put any name as your AWS account name. When you finish, you click on continue. When you click on continue, you appear at the place where, before you go ahead, we want to tell you about the password. The password is actually having a lot of case sensitivity. Firstly, you must have an uppercase. You must have a lowercase. You must have numbers, and you must have a non-alphanumeric character. What are we saying here? I did this. You should have something like this. If you have this one, Yaounde 123, this is a wrong password. It will not work. Why will it not work? They will not accept this password. Why? Because there is no known alpha numeric character. You need an alphanumeric character. So if you put an alphanumeric character like at 123, and then you put like this one is still wrong. There is no uppercase character. It is wrong, right? And then if you put an uppercase character and then you end it at this level, it is still wrong. The reason is that what? There are no numbers. So you have to put numbers. So this is the right format of the password. It should have at least one uppercase letter, lowercase letters, non-alphanumeric character, and numbers. That is the right format for your password, because so many people are going to get stuck here when the platform is going to refuse their password. So that is the right format for your password. Okay. Now, after that, you are going to move over to the next window. Here, you are going to sign up now. How do you want to use your AWS account? there are two options there for you. The option is personal, for your own projects, or business, for your work, school, or organization. You do not take the first one. You do not take the business one. No, you take the personal one. You are creating an account for yourself, not a business account. You are creating your personal account for your projects, right? Then you give now your full names. This one determines your legal full names. You give your names as they are. You give your phone number as it is. You choose your country. Give your address where you live in Yaoundé, Bamenda, or wherever you are. Then you put your city, state, or province, or in our case, region. You give your region, your postal code. The postal code here is in Cameroon, we always use 00237. So you use 00237 at the place of postal code. Then you click on I have read and agreed to the terms of AWS customer agreement. You click on that small box. You click continue. This is where you need now your debit card. Your debit card has to be ready at by this level. What do you put up here? You put the card number. The card number is found on your debit card. You put your card number, I think it's a 14 digit number. You put the number up here, and then you put your expiration date. Those of you that just made your card, I think their expiration date will be in 2025. Okay, so you put your expiration date, the month, and the year. The card holder's name, your name now, because the card will be established in your name. So you put the card holder's name, which is your name. CVV. CVV is a three-digit number that is found on top of your debit card. You will see it on the flip side of the card. When you turn the card, you will see a CVV number. It's a three-digit number. So you put the card here. You can click on use my contact address, and then you click verify. When you click verify, what will happen is there will be a deduction from your account, a deduction of about 200 francs or 300 francs. That is just to test whether that card is actually working. Immediately that deduction occurs, they will re uh, uh, put back the money in your account. You just want to test whether your card is functional. So that is your AWS account now already created and ready. So when you come here, it's time now to confirm your number. You need to confirm your telephone number. So you put your number. You always confirm through the text, please, because there are two ways by which they are asking you to confirm your telephone number. They can either ask whether you should confirm by voice or by text. So don't take voice. Voice is too cumbersome. Take text. Choose your country. Then you put your mobile number. You type the character that you find that is here. This is against robotics. There are some people that are just creating scripts that can read all these things and autofill them. So they bring all these things so that they make sure that they are working with a human. So you type the characters down here, and then you click send SMS. A code will be sent to your phone. So once you are clicking send SMS, be ready with your phone. When that code is sent, copy the code, and then you put under the next page that comes, verify. Once you put the code here and verify, your account is ready and live. Now, you need to choose what type of account you are having. We have three different account types. We have the basic support, which is free. We have developer support. We have business support. So you always come and choose your basic support. Do not choose neither the developer nor the business support. Always take your basic support. After that, congratulations, you have created your AWS account. Okay. So I am expecting that we should have created our account before we come to our next class. I'm hearing some people are complaining that due to the public holidays, they are unable to have their account, their debit card ready. So I hope as soon as you get the debit card, you are going to create your account very fast. So if we have gone through the first two slides, we are ready for the show business now. Here, we are going to create an EC2 machine. Now, it is here that I'm going to be as slow as possible for you to follow up very well. We are beginning our real practicals. Everything we were saying was all about lectures and our normal school that we know. Now we are getting into the practicals, and this is what you are going to be doing on your daily basis. So we are going to the first topic, EC2. What is an EC2? Generally, forget about the English that is here. The EC2 is just a computer that we are going to create. We are going to create a computer in a data region somewhere in the USA. Instead of buying a computer, we are going to create one for ourselves. Okay, let's see what they say about EC2. EC2 stands for Amazon Elastic Compute Cloud. You see the reason why they two, because there are two C's, compute cloud. It is a web service that provides secure, scalable compute capacity in the cloud. It is a virtual server in Amazon. So a virtual server, that means it is located in a remote area. All right. So what does it do? It's just a normal computer that you like the one you are having in front of you, that you can create and install things inside. That is an EC2 machine. So in the cloud, we call it an EC2 instance. So when you will be talking about creating EC2 instances, we are just simply saying that we are creating computers. So you can create one that is having an operating system in Linux, you can create Ubuntu, you can create Windows, you can create Red Hat, you can create a computer with any type of operating system that you like in the cloud. Okay. So, and that is what we are going to do right now. We are going to create a Windows EC2 computer. We are going to do that right away. So let's head over to our AWS account. We are going to follow all these steps. The steps are listed in your notes. So follow the steps. You are going to create the machine. So let's get over to our account. All right. This is how your AWS control panel will look like. This is how your control panel will look like. Look at up here at the far, let me zoom it please. At the far right up here is your name. So as I said, I'm using the company account. It is IIG, Ideal Investment Group. Here, it will be your name, the name that you gave to your account. So this is where if you want to sign out, you can click here and you can sign out, right? This one, this is where all your information is contained. Your data, your card, your billing system, everything is contained here. Okay. Next to it, we have the region where this account is located. Right now, this account is located in North Virginia. That is in the USA. The account is located in North Virginia. But it doesn't mean that you can only be creating your computers and your systems in North Virginia. No, you can create them in Ohio, North California, Oregon, Mumbai, Osaka, Seoul, anywhere that you want. If you just change, if you just click on a different region, you migrate to that region. So you don't need to say that you must always create your account or your EC2 machines in North Virginia. No, that doesn't work like that. Now, on the left side of your screen, you will see services. This is where all the AWS services are located. When you click here, you are going to find the services located here. You are seeing all these ones because they are services that I have been using most often. But all the other services are located here. You have storage, security, robotics, machine learning, everything. All the services are located here, right? So each time you are searching for a service, because we want to create an EC2 machine. When you are searching for EC2, what do? You are searching for an EC2 resource. You come to search, you click on search, you type EC2 and you click enter. You will see the EC2 instance here. When you click on your EC2 instance, it will take you now to the page where we are located. It will bring you now to where you can create your EC2 instance here. So if you want any other service, that is how you are going to search for the service and bring. So we are now at the service of EC2. Come here and click on instances. When you click on instances, the dashboard comes out. Now you come up to this yellow bar up here and you click on launch instances. When I click on launch instances, this is the platform for me to create an EC2 machine. First thing that I will do is give a name to my EC2 machine. So I will give AWS training batch 100. That should be a batch. AWS training batch 100. Now we are creating what type of a machine? We are creating a Windows machine. So after I've given my name, I take Windows. I select Windows here. It is formerly in Linux here, but I want to create but a Windows machine. So I select Windows here. I move down. Now I select the type of operating system that I want. That is the version of the operating system. You click on the drop down menu. I always like to take Server 2019. 2019 is the most stable one. The base 2019 is the most stable one. 2022 is still on shaky. So I take always take 2019, please. It is more stable. Now we come to the our next resource, which is instant type. For instant type, we are going to have a bit of demonstration here. Now, if you want to buy a computer, there are certain characteristics that you will go in for. The characteristics are, we have 1, we have 2, we have 3. The first one is what? The first one is the CPU. That is the computing capacity, the CPU. The second characteristics is what?
Wonders.
The second characteristics is the RAM. Please, somebody should mute their mic. It is interacting. Please mute your mics. So we have the CPU, we have the RAM, and then we have the hard drive. You always buy your computer with respect to these qualities: CPU, RAM, and hard drive. Okay, so we are going to be creating our computer with respect to our CPU. We can have like the characteristics I ask all of you to have to in order to study cloud computing with ease is going to have, we said we should have an i5 computer with what? An 8 GB RAM, an 8 GB of RAM. If you have these two with at least a 300 GB storage, if you have these characteristics here, you have a good computer that you can perform your cloud computing without any problem. So instant type, let's come back here. Instant type here, this instant type is a combination of two characters. The two characters are CPU, this CPU like this CPU and the RAM. These are the two characteristics that makes up an instant type. These two makes up an instant type, please. An instant type is made up of a CPU and a RAM. So let's look at it. You discover that when you say T2 micro, T2 micro is made up of one CPU and 1 GB of RAM. That is T2 micro. T2 micro is made up of one CPU and 1 GB of RAM. If you click the drop down box, you will discover that there are so many types of instant types. You have 2 CPU, 8 GB of RAM. The highest, heaviest instant type is having 48 CPU and 384 GB of RAM. This one should be very, very expensive to use. Very, very expensive. But we will always mostly be dealing with T2 micro because it is free. All right. T2 micro is free for us to be working with. So we will mostly be dealing with T2 micro. So that is the instant type. Key pair. Our key pair is just a text that is going to make us have access to the computer that we are going to create right now, right? With this computer that we are about to create, let's take for example, we are creating a computer of this magnitude. We are creating this computer, but in order to have access to this computer, we need a key. We need a key. There is some sort of a key to access this computer. So where are we going to get that key? We are going to create the key here. So when you click on create key pair, it will take you to where you need to create your key pair. You can either create a new key pair or you can use already used key pair. So I'm going to create a key pair just once. In our subsequent lessons, I will no more be creating key pairs. So let me create a new key pair. I create a key pair. I write AWS. With a key pair, you don't need to give a space. So when you want to give space, you put a hyphen. AWS training. Please mute your mics. Mute your mics, please. Mute your mics. We have AWS training. I think I can mute for you. Please mute your mics. Mute your mics. There's somebody who has not yet muted. Okay, that's great now. I think I had to mute for some people. So you have AWS training hyphen 100 badge. This is a key that we are about to create. Always allow it at pem.pem. There are two uh, versions of keys. You have a .pem key and you have a .ppk key. There are different types. So when I will click on create key pair, the key pair is going to be downloaded. And when it is actually a file. Okay, when it is going to be downloaded, I have to take it and keep it in a safe place. So I click on create key pair. Let's see how the key pair is going to be downloaded. Now that is the key pair being downloaded. Here is the key pair downloaded here. I open the file. I cut the key pair from here and keep where all my key pairs are located. All my AWS key pairs are located here. I paste here, right? The key pair is AWS training 100 batch. Don't forget, that is the name of the key pair. So we have created our key pair. Now let's go ahead. The next thing that we need to create is a security group. What is a security group? A security group is actually a shell. It is a fence that we are going to build around our computers. Every computer is always having a security group. That means you do not always have to expose your computers like that. Like here, we cannot just expose this computer like this. We need to build a very big fence that will surround this computer like this. Or build this fence now like this. We are going to have a particular door that will be open. That door, there are different types of doors that you can attach, and the key that you give to those doors matter. So when we are going to create the fence, we are going to attribute the key to that fence so that we should know that that is where how we need to access this computer. That is security group. So here, when you come down to security group, you click on edit. You are going to click a new security group. We can use an existing security group, but for the purpose of demonstration, let us create a new security group so that you should see how a new security group is created. So I click on edit, and then I come down. Don't worry about VPC, subnet, and all the like. We are going to come to it. Just allow that one. Come down here, security group name. You give your security group name. I give batch AWS hyphen training hyphen 100 hyphen batch. So that is a security group name that I've given. Where is the key that I am attributing to this security? Type. When you see type here, you can decide and say that all keys, these are the various keys. These are the various keys. They are called protocols, right? We have all protocols can be allowed. That means any Jack and G can just enter there. But you can decide and say that no, only a particular RDP protocol is allowed. And for the machine that we want to create, RDP protocol must be allowed with the port range 3389. Sometimes they will always ask you in your interview question, what is the port range for RDP? It is 3389. When we come to creating Linux, we'll discover that we are going to be using a different uh, type of security to inbound rule to access our security group. But at the level of Windows, we are using RDP. Our network should be from anywhere so that we can access our computer directly from the internet. If I take IP, that means only this computer that I am using can access that my computer that I want to create in the data center. But if I take anywhere, that means even you there, if I give you the all the logins, you can have the access to the computer. So we take anywhere, right? Now, the last stage now, remember that I said we have the processor, we have the RAM, and then we have the hard drive. Here now we are going to select the capacity of our hard drive. We have a configuration that comes with a 30 gigabyte hard drive already configured for you. So what should you do? Should you add or should you subtract? It depends on you. It is a 30 GB because Windows is a graphic user interface, right? It has a lot of graphics, you need a lot of pictures and all the like. That's why the space is much here. So we have finished all the various characteristics to set up our computer. To have a computer, what do you need? You need an operating system. We have chosen our operating system. It is Windows. What do you need again? You need a RAM and a CPU. We have chosen our instant type. Our instant type has a one CPU and 1 GB RAM. So we have chosen that. Coming down to our hard drive, we have chosen our hard drive. It is having a 30 GB. We have everything that is important and necessary to create our computer. Let us come now to launch instance. When you finish everything, you come now to launch instance. You click on launch instance. Your computer is being created right now like this. Good, your computer has been created. When it gets created, you click on instances. Now, look at all the characteristics that is attributed to your computer. You have the name. This is the name that we gave to our computer. AWS Training Bash 100. That's the name we gave. This is the instant ID. This ID is automatically given. The instant state, it is pending. It is not yet running. The computer is not yet running. Okay. We cannot access the computer now because it is not yet running. Okay. Then the instant type, we have T2 micro. Okay. So our computer now is running. It is available at US East 1C. That is in North Virginia. Okay. So our computer now is running. Should we try to access our computer? Yes. You select the computer here, and then you click on connect up here. When you click on connect, now we are supposed to connect to our computer. We have three ways by which we can connect: session manager, RDP client, EC2 serial console. We are going to use RDP client, please. RDP client, that is the way we are going to be connecting to our Windows machine. You click on RDP client. For now, we are unable to generate our password. Why? The reason is because we have to wait for 4 minutes in order to generate our password. Are you seeing? Please wait at least 4 minutes after launching an instance before trying to retrieve the auto-generated password. So we are supposed to wait for 4 minutes before we auto-generate our password. How are we going to generate our password? We are going to generate our password by using the key that we downloaded. We are going to use the key that we downloaded. Now, while waiting for the 4 minutes to elapse, let me show you something here. We have public IP address. This is the address that if I give it to anybody, the person can use and have access to my computer that I have just created in my data center. There is always a public IP address and there is always a private IP address. So we are going to be connecting to our computer using our public IP address. Okay. We are going to collect the data that is necessary to collect to our computer and we see. So let's try and see whether it is the 4 minutes has elapsed and we can generate our password. How should we generate our password? We are going to use the key that we downloaded in order to generate our password. So you click on RDP client, you click on download remote desktop file here. When you click on download remote desktop file, no, please, sorry. When you click on RDP client, please, you click on get password. Now, we can generate our password from here. When we click on get password here, now you upload your private key. Here is where you upload your private key. You click on upload. When you click on upload, it opens. You should know how to navigate your computer. I know where I kept my own private key. I kept it in a file called AWS keys, and that file is located somewhere in downloads. So I go to downloads. I have AWS keys. I open it. I remember the file was what? AWS training 100 batch. That is my file. I click it, I select it, and I click open. Now the file is loaded here. So I can say decrypt password. When I click on decrypt password, this is the password that has been generated. This is the password here like this. Now I can copy the password and keep. I will need that password in order to have access to my computer. These are the things I'm going to need. I'm going to need the password. This is the password. I am also going to need the username of the computer. The username is here. Here is the username, please. Here is the username. The username is administrator. This is the username, administrator. I copy administrator to and keep username. That is the username. It is administrator. And then the last thing I need in order to get access to my computer is the public IP address. Here is the public IP address I was talking about. I click on the public IP address. I keep here. Public IP. Now I have these three. I never copied my public IP. Okay, I have these three parameters. These three parameters are going to help me now to have access to my remote computer. But how am I going to have access to my remote computer? Where am I going to click to see that computer? I am going to come here, come down here, please, and type remote. Everybody should be using Windows 10, I hope. You type remote desktop connection. That is remote desktop connection here. You click on remote desktop connection, and now this little window pops up, right? In this little window, the first thing you do is you copy the IP address. Please copy the IP address, and then you paste here, and then you click on show options. Don't click on connect, we no go. Click on show options. When you click on show options, they'll ask you for username, right? When they ask you for username, you click on administrator, and then you copy it, take administrator, and then you paste. The next thing that they will ask from you is the password. So just copy the password and keep handy. So you click connect. When you click connect, you wait for some time. Accept connect. Now they're asking you for password, right? Make sure you paste now your password here, and then you click OK. Yes, there we are. We have access to our newly bought machine. We have created our new computer that is taking time to boot. So let's give it some time to get ready for us to have access to its functionalities. Great. Our computer is live. So with our computer live now, you can do anything with this computer. I mean, just anything. As I said, you can do just anything. You can keep your musics there. You can install your software programs there. Just virtually anything you can do with the computer. Okay, anything. At one moment, you can even use it as a favor. Sometimes you can use it and hide certain things inside your computer, which are not actually inside your computer, but they are in your remote computer. Okay, so this is how to create an EC2 Windows instance. Okay, in our next class, we are going to create a Linux instance. This is an EC2 Windows. In our next class, we are going to create a Linux computer. So, is there anybody having any question, any worries whatsoever? This is the time for you to raise your hand and talk. If anybody has a question, please raise your hand, and the opportunity will be given for you to ask your question. I hope everybody knows how to raise a hand. Let's come to our portal here. Please, if you want to raise your hand, come down here.
Can you get me now?
Yes, I can get you.
Yes. My problem is that I had a breakup for about 30 minutes, so I was a little bit. I'm left hanging a little bit.
Okay. What you're going to
Yes.
do is you're going to download the video, and then you sit down at your convenience, and then you watch everything that occurred.
Okay. So it will be sent to the group for easy download, right? Not so.
Yeah, the video will be sent to the
By
group.
tomorrow.
Yeah, by tomorrow in the
Okay. Okay.
morning, the video will be available in the forum.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah. All right. That is how to create an EC2 instance. I believe we followed up and we are aware of all the stages that are there. And please always make sure that you look for a stable internet. Always make sure that you look for a stable internet because jumping in and out of the class is not good. Always make sure you look for a stable internet. It is very important. Very, very important. I want everybody to stay glued in the class till the end. So please, for those who already have their debit cards, create your account, create an EC2 machine, and then take snapshots and update in the forum. I want to see snapshots of those who have created their EC2 machines. I want to see them. For those who have not yet having their debit card, I hope by next week everybody should be having their debit account. Everybody should already have their cards, please, by next week. Because if you don't have your card by next week, as we are learning this thing like this, they are evaporating. So that is the reason why we had to retake this class because we really needed the video so that it will be shared to all of you. You take your time and then you watch it and you practice with it. Okay. So in the absence of no question, I believe we went through our task for today. Have a good night and happy Good Friday. See you guys on Monday. Good night.